Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me in seclusion due to the coronavirus epidemic. And today, of course, I want to talk about that, as well as immunity and Chinese medicine and how we see this whole thing. We're going to talk about Wei Qi, and we're going to talk about exterior wind and coronavirus flu specifically, this epidemic. And we're going to talk about treatment in case you get it. And protective measures to prevent getting it. So let's start off with Wei Qi. Wei Qi is, of course, the name we call our protective Qi. It's very strong. It's your soldiers. It's your fortress. It's very young, and it protects you against all the invaders out there, everything that wants to try to get in and disrupt you. It protects you. So that's our Wei Qi. It also goes inside and protects the organs. So, for example, they'll go inside and recycle garbage in, such as enlarged fat cells, as well as tumors. It will kill tumors and eat them. It will eat half-processed food, impacting fecal matter, and go after cholesterol in the blood and clean out the blood. So it goes after all that stuff too. That's our Wei Qi. It also maintains warmth, because it's on the exterior of this, it's just underneath the skin, and it's always working to keep us warm. Because as you know, the temperature outside is always going to be warmer than 98.6 degrees, which is inside, right? So Wei Qi is a workhorse, and it works a lot, and that's going to be useful when we talk about prevention. All right, so now exterior wind. This is a virus. This is basically what we call a virus. Exterior wind is generated on the outside, not generated on the inside. It comes from the outside and it tries to get in. That's its goal. Most exterior wind blows through the treetop, just like exterior wind blows through treetops. And that means it affects the upper part of the body. That's where we see it. It's trying to get into the lungs and disrupt the lungs. Yeah. And that's, of course, coronavirus. What it does cause pneumonia, and that's how it kills. That's how it becomes deadly. So it's our Wei Qi that protects us from that. Now this exterior wind, it will present with fever and chills. We say fever and chills. So you're feverish because that's the battle that's going on between the Wei Qi and the wind, the invader. It's a battle, friction, right? And chills because your Wei Qi is momentarily distracted from keeping you warm, and it's got to protect against this virus. So they'll tend to be fever and chills, or at least susceptibility to cold. You don't like cold, and you certainly don't like cold wind. There's an aversion to cold wind when you're under a wind attack, right? And it will try to enter the skin level. That's where your Wei Qi is. It tries to get into the lungs, which is your Wei Qi central, you might say. But it also tries to enter through the nose. It tries to enter through the throat. Can even enter through the ears, rarely through the eyes, but any openings in your upper body, that's where the wind is going to try to get in. So you want to protect those areas. We'll talk about that later. Now, this coronavirus flu, okay, it is an epidemic. And it's a serious matter when you consider that it attacks frail people, right? Frail elderly or people with pre-existing conditions. These are the kinds of people, these are the people who really need to avoid gatherings. Well, we're all avoiding gatherings, but special precautions. Now, if we didn't have such a messed up health system in the United States, we wouldn't need to seclude. We would have special medical teams watching people who are more susceptible and being very careful. Of course, testing would be free, as well as treatment would be free and immediate. So, we don't have that. So now what we find is people under 40 are almost totally zero mortality rate. This is from China, from are statistics from a Chinese study. Let's see, it was the WHO, the World Health Organization China, together with the Chinese Journal of Epidemiology. So they did some very thorough statistics, and they found that people under 50 really are not dying from this. They're getting it, but they're not dying from it. It attacks frail and pre-existing conditions. Those pre-existing conditions I'll show you right now are things like cardiovascular disease, okay, diabetes, all right, chronic respiratory disease, hypertension, cancer, chemotherapy, any situation where your immune system, your Wei Qi, is weakened, right? Doing other things, healing something, for example, your Qi will be concentrating on diabetes or something, or cardiovascular disease, and leaves the exterior open, right? So, or leaves the lungs weak, like a chronic respiratory disease. So these are the people who really do need to be careful. And now, the statistic also shows, here I'll show you this other thing, that the coronavirus, as you can see here, is 3.72. We could say even 400 times more deadly than a regular flu. That's why this is a serious problem, right? Look under there, seasonal flu, under 0.1%, and then coronavirus, 3.72. That means it's 400 times more deadly. These are people who get it, and then they don't make it, right? However, the Spanish flu of 1918 is 5 times more deadly than coronavirus. That's what we got here. So it's not the zombie apocalypse, but it's something to be taken seriously. Okay. If you get it, of course, you will have a high fever. High fever, careful, right? That's a warning sign. I would take Gan Melling. This is a standard Chinese remedy. It goes back, I don't know, hundreds of years. I don't know how long it goes back, but it's a standard formula, and you can order it online. Here's a picture of it. What it does is, it treats epidemic wind. In other words, flu. We neutralize the pathogen, and then we expel it through the skin. That is, we create sweating. That's called diaphoresis. So neutralize and expel through the skin. When that happens, and it's very strong herbs. These are very strong herbs that are doing this. They're actually assisting your Wei Qi to push it out, to kill it and push it out. That's Gan Melling, very useful. I keep it around all the time, of course. I stocked up. And Yin Chow, now I'll show you, Yin Chow is for a simple cold. That's less strong, and you need something less strong for a wind attack that is less strong than epidemic wind, right? So that's a cold virus again. And again, it neutralizes it and pushes it out in a process called diaphoresis. So now don't confuse flu or cold with sinus allergies. It's very easy to confuse it. Sinus allergies will not give you a fever. A cold, fever and chills and fever. Flu, high fever. That's a good way to distinguish it, right? But sinus allergies, you get sneezing, runny nose, itchy eyes, sore throat. All of this can be seasonal. And of course, this is flu season as well as allergy season. They often coincide, right? And of course, that's because the wind is generated when the seasons change. When you go from cold to hot or hot to cold, that creates turbulence in the atmosphere, right? Well, that creates wind, evil wind that's trying to get into your body. So it will pass. It will pass. Now, protective measures. Okay, I want to tell you, there's no magic thing here. There's no suddenly you can take something, put something in your mouth, and you'll be immune. That's not going to happen. Okay, I wish it was, but it's not. Number one, keep warm, because when you're cold, see, that distracts your Wei Qi. Your Wei Qi suddenly is called off of the defenses, and it's called to try to keep you warm, and it weakens your Wei Qi. And so pathogens can get in, like evil winds, right? So stay warm all the time, okay? Drink hot drinks if If your body says, yes, I like hot drinks, drink hot drinks and eat soups. If it doesn't like cold food, don't eat cold food, right? You want to stay warm. Okay, protect against the wind. Don't go out in the wind, right? Especially the back of your neck and back there. We say that the wind enters through there. Actually, it just enters your body and it makes your Wei Qi weak again. It's weakened because it's trying to keep you warm, keep you from hypothermia. And that allows the pathogens to get in. They slip right in. So protect yourself against wind, especially cold wind. Okay? You need a lot of sleep and rest. Don't be running around exhausting your qi. You need that qi to defend yourself and keep yourself safe. So in order to stay safe, you can't be multitasking and being an A+ citizen, workaholic. You can't do that. Okay? You need to be secluded, like the whole world now. But slow it down and don't overextend because you will exhaust your qi and then you're looking for trouble, right? So don't worry. Worrying tightens you up and your Wei Qi can't get to where it needs to go. It needs to go where it needs to go. And if your body is tight because you're worrying about the future, which doesn't exist, right? Well, then it's going to weaken your Wei Qi because it can't get where it can't travel. Bad circulation, not good. I mean, it's the same thing with very overweight people. Bad circulation, not good for Wei Qi. So, people who are obese or heavily overweight need to stay indoors also. That's in my opinion, that is a risk factor. So don't worry. Hey, this is temporary. It's all going to be over at some point. Fast. Don't eat because if you eat, well, you're going to eat. I eat, but eating distracts your qi, your overall qi to process that food. And you don't want to be distracted. You want to protect yourself. So that's why I say fast. I mean, I fast for 23 hours mostly. Sometimes I'll have a snack in the late morning, but I have one meal in the evening because I'm fasting all day. I'm cleaning out my garbage. I'm cleaning all that garbage out, processing all little bits of half-processed food, right? Because I want my Wei Qi to be strong and not be distracted with a bunch of garbage and a bunch of food that I'm eating. I don't need to stay. I don't need to be strengthened. I don't need to be tonified. This is a big mistake. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. Now you can take vitamin C if you want. I haven't found it to be useful for myself. If you think it works, fine. And whatever you think works. If you need to take supplements, I'm telling you, there's no magic supplements for this situation. Okay. I take cough drops. I drink hot drinks during the day and eat mentholated cough drops. I don't have a cough, but it keeps my throat cool. It's mentholated. It keeps it cool and fresh and happy because that's an invasion route for wind, and I don't want that. So that's a little protective measure that I use personally. Yeah, so don't take tonics. When you take something that says tonic, tonic means to strengthen. You don't need to be strengthened. If you live in a rich, fat country, economically advanced like the United States, you do not need to be strengthened, right? Your problems are excess problems, and that needs to be reduced. So if you take tonics, it will strengthen the pathogen. It will strengthen the wind. Don't strengthen the wind with tonics. Okay? And the exception to that, of course, is Wei Qi deficiency. If you're catching colds and flu all the time, if you got a cold right now and you just can't seem to get rid of it, maybe you've been to the medical doctors, the emergency medicine, right, and they give you antibiotics, and it just makes it worse. Then you need Yu Ping Feng San, jade windscreen powder. And you need it now because what it does is it blocks the exterior and then strengthens your lung and Wei Qi. That's what you need right now, and you'll get rid of that cold right away. But you don't need to have this. Now, that usually comes in this kind of climate. It comes from overextending, from exhaustion, from being an A+ citizen, a workaholic, and higher overachiever, that kind of thing. All that hurrying, it exhausts your qi. So, if you're in that situation, get Yu Ping Feng San right away. And I guess my last piece of advice is don't fly except in your imagination, because you don't want to be in an airplane breathing recycled virus-infected air, do you? Well, I feel sorry for airlines and airline workers. Or, my gosh. But anyway, so don't fly except in your imagination. And, well, thanks for watching. That's all I have. We'll see you next time.